All right, so what do I use to record these Amazon Influencer Program videos? There are a ton of different things. I'm going to show you all of them here in a second, as well as make sure that you have access to them. So I will link them all for you directly to the listing in case you want them. But before I get into that, realistically, like everybody, when I see these videos, they always go through all their stuff and they say, you need this, you need this, you need this. And realistically, you don't, okay? You don't need anything to get started, right? You don't need a camera like I'm reviewing right now. You don't need a microphone like this, like I'm talking into. If you don't have any money or you don't want to spend any money in the beginning until you at least prove the concept, that's totally understandable. And I actually even recommend that in most cases, okay? The only thing that you need is your phone. You don't have to get cute. You don't have to overcomplicate it. You can literally use your phone and record yourself, right? Like literally just get a tripod or stick it like against a wall or something. Record yourself with the phone. This has a good microphone already. It has a good camera already, both front facing and back facing. Or you can even hold it and record the product and just talk into your phone. And again, you're going to make decent videos, right? Now, is that the best option to make the most high quality videos, to stand out on the actual Amazon Influencer Program against other competitors? No, of course not, right? But in the beginning, you don't need all the bells and the whistles. You don't need a fancy camera. You don't need a super expensive microphone. You don't need all the gadgets to record better videos. You don't need any of that. You just can use your phone. It's completely free. We all have a phone already with a good microphone and a good camera, okay? So I wanted to start with that just to make sure that if you don't want to spend any money, skip the rest of this lecture. Just use your phone. Come back once you start making a few $100s, a few $1,000s, and you want to upgrade your equipment to make recording easier and make better videos, okay? Now, assuming you do want to make better videos, obviously, if you have a camera like I'm recording on right now, that's going to help get better visuals, right? If you do want a microphone, I use this one a lot for voiceovers. This is the same one that I use for YouTube. It is a like a 5. I don't even know the brand. I will link it obviously for you. It's been great. I've used 10, 15 microphones in my entire like journey over YouTube for a long time. And this one's the best one for a lot of different reasons, in my opinion. I've purchased 3 of these now because every once in a while the wire will go out, but that usually is like a year. This is, I think it's like $60, which is an absolute steal. The vocal quality sounds crisp. The audio obviously sounds great. It's easy. It's adjustable, maneuverable. It locks into place. You can kind of move it all over the place. It makes it super easy. It's hands-free when you're actually on screen recording, you know, like B-roll. So this is exactly what I use when I'm on camera like this, reviewing a product. Sometimes like this, I'll talk into the microphone like this, and I'll link this one for you as well as the boom arm that holds it. It's a great microphone and boom arm for the actual price because, like I said, I've owned a bunch, and I've owned like cheap ones that don't sound very good that are like, you know, $15-$20, and I've also owned like literally like I think $400, and then with the boom arm it was like $500. I've owned expensive microphones, and realistically I can't tell, and most people can't tell the difference between something like this that was $60 plus like another $40 I think for the boom arm, or another $30 for the boom arm, all in like $80 to $100 depending on the actual sale, versus like something that's like $600 or $500. Like, you can't tell the difference. I love this. That's why I keep purchasing it over and over again. That's the first thing. Now, the second thing is one of these. So this has a camera on the front. You'll see these all over Amazon as well. And it also holds your phone. So what it does is it'll hold your phone like that. Boom. And it also goes the other way as well, if you want to hold it like horizontally and not vertically. And what this does is it follows you all around the room. So if you're moving, if you set it down and you want to showcase an actual product, you don't need an actual videographer. You don't need somebody holding a phone, following you around the room and recording what you're doing. This will do it automatically. This thing's awesome, and they're super cheap. You can see them all over Amazon. Again, I will link to it. You don't need it. You don't need any of this. You don't need the microphone, like I said, but this thing, game changer, will definitely help you in certain situations, okay? So that's the next thing. The next thing is a little mini tripod like this. So this is a no-brainer, right? And they sell adjustments for the top that's going to hold your phone. So this right now is like for a camera, if you have a camera, but you can also buy an adjuster. There's an adjuster right underneath the camera, but you can't see it. That's the one that I typically use. And I grabbed this one just to show you. But obviously this adjuster, once you put it on, you just screw it over top of the camera thing like that. And then boom, it will hold your phone. So again, you can contort this any which way. attach it to something, bend it around a desk so it stays. It's going to hold your phone vertically or horizontally. That way you can record hands-free without having to hold the phone or prop it up. Again, I will link both of these, but that's another cool thing. This thing's a game changer, honestly. This is really going to help. So what you do is you put this around your neck, and then the phone, let me show you. If you have a case, it doesn't work. But if you take the case off your phone, or if you have a case that's magnetic, what this will do is it magnets right to your phone, and then you can have the camera in front of you. So hands-free, you can record what you're doing in like a POV, like point of view actual shot. Your hands are free while it's recording your phone camera hanging on your neck. So again, game changer, right? This thing's really cool. I use this all the time for like point of view shots when I'm recording something where that makes more sense. So a perfect example, I recorded a cutting board, and you get like side views, which is great. So I did that with like one of these, but also I recorded POV so I can add both of those angles in the video. And it was really cool because you can see like over top of cutting, and it just like added a different element for the actual review video that looked a lot better. And obviously, like not any of the other videos on the listing were competing with something that was that high quality and that cool. Again, you don't have to start there. I'm just covering what works for me and the things that have helped me, okay? I will link this. Another thing that's cool is this little phone holder. This thing's really cool because it attaches to pretty much anything. You screw this in and it really clamps. It opens up pretty wide. You can screw it on a table. You can screw it on like a ledge, like anything. It hangs sideways, and this moves all around, but it's also pretty firm. As you can see there, it bends all around, right? And what it does is it will hold your phone both ways, inside and out. And then once you attach it, you can record from your phone pretty much anywhere, any angle, from anything. It can hang, it can overlook, it can bend around. So this thing's definitely a game changer as well. This is probably one of the first things that you should purchase because it's going to help you so much. One of these things, again, I will link this. But there's a number of different styles for this. This one's the best one I saw and the best one I found. And the only other thing is these right here. So I have another microphone right here. It's like a mini lavalier mic that you kind of just attach to you. Again, you don't need this, but when I'm recording on the camera, which you can't see, but I'm talking to the camera right now, obviously, I'll plug this in on the side. It's got like the USB on the side, but also it's got like just the audio plug. And then you turn both of these on. It's Bluetooth, and it gives the camera for when I'm not in front of a microphone like this, or I'm not in front of another microphone that I use, and I can talk to the camera. Like if I'm away from my office, but maybe I'm downstairs showcasing something and I want to use my camera for a more high quality shot than my phone, or a different angle for something, then I will plug this in, I'll turn it on in Bluetooth, and it will make the audio sound better because a lot of cameras don't have a good, audio on it. They don't have a good microphone. But if you're using your phone and you're not using a camera, then you don't need this. This is unnecessary because the microphone on the phone, in most cases, whether you're an Android or an iPhone or whatever, nowadays is so good that you don't have to worry about that, right? This is only for specific cameras, okay? So this is another thing. I will link to that. But that's pretty much, unless I'm forgetting something, that's pretty much everything else that I'm using. Some people will tell you need lights. You don't. Trust me, you do not. Don't worry about any of that for Amazon Influencer Program. You don't need to make super high quality edits. People want to see often more relatable videos for somebody that's actually has the product, their experience. They don't want to see some super high edited thing because that kind of, it decreases trust in a lot of ways. You want it to be a little bit more raw, and so you don't need to worry about the highest production quality. Just make sure what you're saying is authentic. Make sure you're reviewing it and covering the specs of the product, the pain point that it solves, all those things, and you will succeed a lot more, okay? One other thing that I will touch on that I will link as well is if you don't have, a lot of people will say like they don't have a good office to record in, or they don't have, a good setup to record in or whatever. And in my opinion, that's an excuse a lot of ways. But if you need a good backdrop and you don't want to spend money for it, for example, like if you're outside or you're in a shed or you're down a basement, I record down my basement sometimes and it is not a finished basement. And so all I did was get a black tarp and like a little thing that holds the black tarp. It's like 20 feet by like 10 feet. It was super cheap on Amazon. I will link that as well. And that's going to make the backdrop look professional. So nobody knows where you are. Nobody knows what's behind it. All they're going to see is a dark black background, you reviewing a specific product. They're not going to know the wiser no matter where you are, all right? So those are all the things that help me record better videos. But again, in the beginning, you don't need any of that. If you don't want to spend any money, just use your phone. Hope it helps.